Heidi ho, everyone. Thank you, Angel, and welcome aboard. It's Thumping Thursday. That'll do. Somebody needs to come up with a good word for Thursdays, I think. It's not compulsory, but it'd be a good idea. Just so I've got something to say as a welcome, that's all. It's nice to have you with us wherever you are in this this wonderful world in which we live, this COVID-infected world in which we live. Had the Fed overnight, didn't we? And I read the Fed. I didn't get up for the breakout trade. Actually, I'll have a look at that. I didn't get up for that because I was very tired when I went to bed for some weird and wonderful reason. I slept right through 4 o'clock, I'm pleased to say. I think that it would have been a breakout, but I don't think there would have been any money in it. Let's see if it goes into trend. As that's exactly what we're looking for, of course. So I didn't trade it. Don't know if you guys did. I actually didn't set it up for you, did I? But I think most of you who are in the room would now be aware of how I trade that anyway. If not, we'll go through it before the next one, because I completely forgot yesterday, and I do apologize for that. All right, let's. There's a few things to do. Let's get stuck in. And Ash is back today. Wrong button. As I was saying, Ash is back today, so we look forward to having a chat to him and getting his view, perhaps, on what the Fed had to say. To my mind, pretty benign, and I don't think the market would change its view based on what was said or what wasn't said. What wasn't said. Ooh, Thursday. Pounds. A couple of things I want to do here with the pound breakout trades. One of them is not traded again today, but the other, although, yeah, no, you can't, not where the monthly pivot is. Look, we're really close to the profit on the first entry. So what I'm inclined to do, I think we're about, can't remember what the exact level was, but I think we're only about 10 or 11 pips away from it. So I'm just going to bank that. Close that one if I can actually get it. Maybe I've got to go to there. I hate it when that happens. Come over here. There we go. Close. That's what we want to do. So we'll bank that one. That is the first of them. And now I'm going to move my stop loss to entry on the second of them. Control, click, no. Just do that. Why not? What's the level? 138, 39, 36. Can't remember. 138, 38. What? 138.38. That's the one we want. So we'll make that. That won't let me do it. Son of a gun. 138.38. Why won't it let me do that? It'll let me delete it. Stop loss. Oh, there we go. 138.38. Done. And it didn't move it. Son of a gun. What am I doing wrong? Modify. Sell stop. That'll do it. Delete sell stop. I didn't delete that. That's a bad thing for me. Okay. Now that's gone. Maybe I can modify this one. Yay. 138.38. Cool. Right, stops to entry on that one. So the breakout trade has done well for us this week. We can't lose. We can only win and perhaps win well. Depends on what happens today, of course. I'm more than happy to just have that swing in play as our stop loss. And the daily pivot should protect the first of what probably will be a retracement. Some who knows? And at this stage, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. What have I done? I've done this today. Euro Aussie. Been stalking Euro Aussie, as you know, and it's set up as a clear false break, and that's exactly what we were looking for. Not a massive break, I would say, but certainly 2 candles of consolidation, re-entry, and then a retest of the trade line. So that's a clear false break indicator for me, and the time to go short. This is the problem area. The entry is the problem area because we are trading at a reasonably strong support and resistance area. If we get through there, I think we'll be okay. And if we don't, say this stalls, haven't we got 2 hours to go? 2 hours to go? 7:15. We should have a nuke. 7, 11, 3, 7. So yeah, we've got 2 hours before this closes. So I'll be keeping my eye on it. If it closes pretty much as it is, I'm going to add a long order there. So I'll trade that bar long as well as trading this bar short. It's pretty much the same trade at the end of the day. And the reason for that is if it hasn't gone that way, chances are it's going to go that way. And there is a bit of a slingshot scenario there as well. So keep my eye on that. I will update that in Telegram group if I change anything at all. But hopeful this will go and give us what we're looking for. Why are we trading? Well, it's a false break. It's a lower high. Perhaps could have traded that bar, and that would have made sense also. It is a lower high based on there. And if that were the case, you'd probably be taking profit at this point at TP1. Why did I not do that? Because the daily pivot's right there, and chances are it could have bounced off that. So let's see how that pans out, and we will continue to monitor that, as I said, through the Telegram group. Euro pound. Euro pound is smiling on us as well as it continues to go south. We've got to get through this level, of course, and our target area, as I said from the outset, is around about there, that level 84.70-ish. So that one looks like being a beauty if it can get there. Considering options here, I'm going to wait and see what this session does. If it were to come back on us a little bit, I would get a little bit, not anxious because we can't lose on this if we've been through TP1, but I would get a little bit suspicious because it's coming off that double bottom base. We need to get through there, as I said, similar to what I've just described on Euro Aussie. The other, what else have we got? Euro Swissy. Euro Swissy, as I said, it just keeps on giving, and really happy with this trade. Got to get it down to here to take pretty much, I'd take most of it off. I really would. The interesting part about it right now is that it's gone through the confluence area. So this level that we're approaching right now makes it interesting. I'm going to trust that we don't get a bounce here and that we do go through, but be aware that this is a potential bounce area and could go back against us. So if you want to bank as much as you possibly can, that's probably a good area to do that. Pound Kiwi is also doing us not so badly. We're back in profit there, of course. We've still got to go through this 190 or this $2 level, and that's of course the key here. If we get through it, then anything's on the table here as far as I'm concerned. The chances are that we'll struggle to get through it as we have before. But if we do, I'll be very, very happy. That's going to turn into a very, very nice trade for us. EuroCAD, you know about on the monthly, that's still going. Is that about it? I think that's about it. Everything else is cancelled at the moment. Yeah, we're good. We are good to go. And so is Ash. G'day, buddy.
Hello, mate. How's things?
Top of the world. Well,
Awesome.
you know, we're under the bottom of the world, but I feel like I'm on top of the world.
How about you?
How was your week been?
Oh, it's been great, mate. Tiring, but absolutely brilliant. I will before I get into too many niceties, just to update you on not update you, but just let you know about a FTSE trade, because there is one on. It's just about
Okay.
price. We want to go long, if anybody's interested, or I want to go long. So let me just bring you this trade and just have a look. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. Where are we? All right, let me just see if I can get my shared screen. And we should be on screen 2, this one.
Sorry, I've missed all these chats. We've got Lloyd with us again today as well. We'll be saying good day to him shortly. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Paul P. And g'day, John, Quizmaster John. How are you, mate?
Right, we can see here that this is the FTSE. Now, the key with this is that there is a monthly pivot just slightly above. In fact, I'm going to just change this so you guys can see where the pivots are. It's just about whether we can get the FTSE. There's the monthly pivot up there. They did look like a trend line as well, but it just depends if we can get a test of this level. You know, I love the direction. I love the fundamental probability is in our favor. You know, there's lots of fundamentals in our favor. One of the main things actually that I really like is there's lots of really cool stories actually like floating around from some of the real big behemoths in the FTSE 100 right now. And one of the big ones I opened up this morning is Shell increasing the dividend and also having share buybacks. Now that is all bullish. You know, you can't get a more bullish statement than that. Really, increasing what you're paying out and buying back shares to decrease the supply means that the share price should do very, very well. Now it's opened up so far this morning around about 3%, so it's already had its fly to the upside. But as an oil stock, it's likely to drag up quite a few other stocks with it. BP also up near 2% this morning. So we are seeing the oil stocks, maybe regardless of the macro picture of WCI and oil, able to now start to get into the realms of potential growth and certainly better rewards for investors. So as one of the big behemoths, that's likely to drag us up unless there's anything that drags us down sufficiently. And the only one I can see is Diageo, which is down around about 2%, which is a drinks company. So there's not really a lot that will drag it down. And it could be that the FTSE just goes from here right the way to the monthly pivot. I can't justify that price point. So I'm trying to get in, but I can't get in at least to the bottom of that bar. Now that's at 69.63 on the futures. Really, I want it down to 69.57. Currently sits 20 pips above that, but doesn't look like it's going to come back. But if it does, that's what I want. So just so you guys got it on your charts, I'm on a 15 here, but you could draw this also on the hourly. We got the hourly here, which is showing this price pattern. We've also got a little trend line here as well, and you know, without the retest, the price point doesn't look quite as attractive. So if it grabs up to that point, then we've missed the opportunity for our smash and grab. But if it comes back, then I'm going to be all over this one because, as I say, the fundamentals look good. I had listened to Jerome Powell's speech yesterday. And certainly appears that the Fed are going to be on hold for a while, which also puts gold in the spotlight. You know, gold all of a sudden is starting to look like a really attractive proposition. Yes, we've already seen the fly to the upside, but now there are things that suggest that gold has been given the green light to go. We've got the seasonality aspect of gold in our favor. Now we've got a fundamental aspect because it's all been about this inflation speak. Now we've got the inflation speak out of the way, and we've got inflation potentially remaining for a while, but not the sufficient fundamental data from the US for the Fed to move in accordance to at least half of the FOMC. So that puts gold in the spotlight for some upside. Now gold around about the monthly pivot looks good. It's broken through, hasn't retested, but if it comes back, that's going to look attractive. And the other thing that was putting me off gold was the chart of silver, and silver is also now looking a bit more attractive because silver's also managed to get a decent test and reject of this lower line here. And if we draw this on a weekly, what we're seeing is this point down here, sometime around about the middle of August, and you know, we can use this level here and then extrapolate it there, and we can see the hold that's happening. So could be that by the end of the week, this is looking like a hammer, and then silver's also going to be given the green light to go to the upside. I don't think there's another trend line that we can rely on here. So looks to me like silver may well hold the pattern. It's at the lower end of the pattern, so it isn't a buy zone. Silver looks good. Gold looks good. Fed appear to be on hold. This is still an inverted head and shoulders, and it looks like it's going to creep forward. So we've got seasonality, as I say, also in our favour. So lots to like and lots to look around for. I like anything pretty much against the dollar. Now, this week I was looking at the Aussie as a potential trade of the week. The issue is definitely about the Sydney lockdown, but it might still be an attractive point to get into the Aussie and you know, have some growth in the Aussie as the global equities and the global economy starts to strengthen, which it's certainly appearing to be the case, mate. So I think there is a bullish mood out there, and it's just kind of picking your poison now. It certainly takes the yen back.
I'm pseudo along the Aussie with Euro Aussie short, but struggling to get through the level that we entered at the moment. We'll see.
Yeah, mate, Euro Aussie short would be exactly one of the ones that I would like to call up as well, because the euro is an absolute pig of a currency. I mean, it's just what I like about what's happened with the euro is that it's had a decent bounce back. But these are the kind of opportunities that we look for to get in short, because the euro is, as I say, it's just, you know, there's no indication from Christine Lagarde that they're going to be moving. The Aussie will obviously have a positive effect from the growth in global economies. But that lockdown is problematic, but we know that's going to be, you know, around for a month, and the chances are Australia will get a handle on it, and we'll be back to some kind of normalcy, not too far down the line. So I'm with you, mate. I like the Euro Aussie. If the lockdown thing wasn't in place and this was at this price, you know, you've got the green light to go, no problem. But it's maybe still a little bit amber at this particular point.
So I said in my analysis this morning that it's probably no, it's not probably. I said it may be a little bit early, but yeah, you've got it. It's there, so you've got to jump on it when it's there.
Yeah, totally agree. WTI also popping to the upside, and it's had a decent. I mean, look at that weekly bar. It had a lovely test of this at this point down here. Completely rejected it. Really strong looking bar. And that is now starting to move to the upside as well. So lots of things that suggest risk on is kind of the current kind of mood out there, and then it's just expressing it. We'll have a quick look at the VIX as well while we're here. Look at the VIX, you know, struggling again, you know, through the trend line, struggling again, looking like a shooting star kind of bar here yesterday. Last week. And that may well push the VIX lower as well. So we're definitely in bullish mood, and it's just really down to whether we can get the price that we want. So I'm after the FTSE, and it could be with the FTSE, if we do manage to get in, it could be with the FTSE that you hold on to it. You know, rather than coming out of the FTSE, it might be something that we look for you know, potentially a lot higher, because it does have room, and the FTSE is relatively inexpensive in comparison to its peers, you know, in comparison to the S&P and in comparison to the Dow. The FTSE is relatively inexpensive. So liking what I'm seeing, mates, around there. Just a quick comment on the crypto space as well. Crypto, I'm finding this conversation about Bitcoin really interesting, that I hear floating around the internet. You know,
I was going to say, which conversation's that? There's plenty of them.
Oh, mate, do you know what? It shocks me to hear some of the naive comments about this kind of thing, because, you know, yes, okay, we've had a pop in Bitcoin. It's 30%. Is that unusual in Bitcoin? Probably not. All it's done is gone to the top of the range. I mean, it's got there quickly, but it's just at the top of the range. And we've got this kind of Amazon story as the potential driver.
Yes,
And
I
I don't know
was
if
going
you
to say potentially that's not even a real thing.
I was going to say, if you've read the story, there's nothing to see here.
No,
It's
I
just
didn't.
that.
I just listened to Shukri.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's nothing to see. It's just sort of like, okay, Amazon sort of like might adopt. They're doing stuff, and the other thing is the regulators are getting closer and closer and closer to getting something which suggests that they're going to be taxing a lot of these coins very, very soon. Which says to me, stick with the blue chip ones, stick with the good ones. Stick with the ones that we know we got potential future in 5 to 10 years out. Stick with the really good ones, because if you go with too many altcoins, smaller altcoins right now, you may pick some 12 to 24 X's, whatever it is, but you're going to get some dogs in there, so you've got to be very, very careful. And Bitcoin is not at this stage anywhere near attractive until we break this level here. It's got to get out of this range, but really we've got to clear around about the 45 mark, maybe 42. It's only 2,000 away from where we are now. Clears 42 and holds. Okay, I'm a buyer, and what you'd want to see is, don't get me wrong, overall I'm a buyer of Bitcoin. I've got no problem with it being a bullish product. No worries about that at all. But you've got to see it break through, and then, well, I'd like to see, I should say, I haven't got to see anything, but I'd like to see it break through and then come back and effectively retest these two levels, and then you've got some confluence. And when that confluence is
How'd you do that?
What's that?
Did a red candle followed my a green one followed. What's that? How'd you do that?
I just did it on Zoom.
Really?
Yeah.
You bloody penis. See, you've got quick hands.
You see your draw tool?
Yeah.
Oh, you might not have it yet. When you get the screen back, mate, go to your draw tool and you'll see a little drop down, and it's got one solid. It's got a solid block as a draw. You can
Right,
choose it as as a tool, and then you just change
Stone
your
the
format
crows.
color. Huh?
I said stone the crows. That's an Aussie thing. Right.
Yeah, no, I know. I've watched Navy. Then
I knew you had faults.
You just change your format color, and then you can choose. You can draw these shapes, whatever you like. So that is the long and the short of what I'm watching and where I think things are right now. So. Really, we're after the FTSE. We really want the FTSE back. Oh, another interesting story as well, which is kind of more of a fun story than anything else. British American Tobacco, another one of the FTSE 100 big guns. Really, really good dividend payers. And anybody interested in stocks, have a look into British American Tobacco. Fascinating company, because obviously they've got problems with the world starting to with the regulators starting to squeeze them on tobacco products, but they've moved into vaping. 3/4 of their, or a third, I should say, of their profits now come from vaping. But the new development is they are going into cannabis. So while we're starting to see the uptake and the implementation of cannabis, and more regulators, if you like, easing their stance on cannabis, they may well be well placed. So that puts
cannabis or hemp?
Cannabis. I mean, they're talking about cannabis vaping. Vaping guns for cannabis.
Really?
And medical cannabis. Yeah. So it's under the umbrella of medical cannabis, but they're sort of like they're talking about maybe.
Is there such a thing? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and Sadiq Khan, the London mayor, is saying that he's quite happy to decriminalise cannabis if the advisors suggest that it's safe to do so. So could be into a. I mean, Angus thinks it's a really good idea. He could probably
he's into it.
Just to chill him out a bit. So I think some interesting developments. BP, I said months ago, interesting too, because they're going to move into green energy. So what we've got is a couple of stories which are telling us where companies are needing to evolve. And we've got 2 companies now that are stating the way they will evolve. BP going into solar and wind power. and British and American tobacco going into cannabis. So two really interesting companies. Anybody interested in the FTSE 100, I would maybe laser point those two for some research, because if you're looking for a bit of safety, they're both big companies. So what you're looking for is the valuation to be decent in a fire sale, and what that means is value up all their assets, get a general value of their assets, and then if the thing crashes, they're going to be able to sell their assets, and you should be able to get your money back as long as you've done your equations correctly. So try and get a decent price on it. BP, just for the record, I think it's already at a relatively attractive price here. But yeah, two to watch there, mate.
Cool, bud. Look, I like that chart.
Oh, what were we looking at? We're looking at Bitcoin, yeah.
You're looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart. Yeah, I like that chart.
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely binary for me. It's either going down to your bottom of your range, or it's going up.
Yeah, yeah. Looking pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Can I trade Binance? What's it called? Bloody Bitcoin. Binance. I've got Binance on the brain because I'm getting ready for this launch, right, of the charity coin. Yes,
which I need some further.
Holy snap and duck shit! The bloody MetaMask. Oh, strike me. Don't know. We won't go there.
Yeah,
it took me 6 hours to do that other thing the other week.
Okay. Well, you're ahead of me, mate. I've got to admit, I haven't really had a decent look at that stuff yet, but I will do, because it's the 8th of August, isn't it? The coin. I had a chat with Paul yesterday, and I've not been a party to a lot of conversations because I've been hosting. So I'm going to read up all about it. And
look, at this rate, I should be ready by the 25th.
Yeah, you should be right, man.
Which will be 2 weeks too late. But anyway, there you go.
Well, not necessarily, because you've got the staking rewards and stuff like that. So
sorry,
may not be a bad time to get in. Yeah, so we're looking at seeing whether the FTSE will come back, and it may give us what we're after. So it's here. I think for you guys, that it looks like the price will be somewhere around about 70.20. So it's currently at 70.40. So you need a little 20 pip dip, and if you get that, then you'll be joining me if you choose to take that particular trade on. It looks pretty nice, though. Lots to like about it. I will do a quick fib and see. Yeah, look at that, 23.6% retrace. So there's loads here.
You got a structural breakout. Yeah, it's all happening.
Yeah. There's loads of confidence. So, but it's got to be that price, in my opinion. Otherwise, you could have a little smash and grab and get a few pips out of it, but you could be right in the middle, and you could be holding onto it before it comes back up again as well. So the long looks great, but let's see if we can get the best possible price as well.
Happy days. A few things to get through before you and I take our little sabbatical.
Yeah.
And the first of those, of course, is we've had Lloyd with us for 3 days this week now.
Oh, good lad.
And he's warming up, and he's going to take our wonderful trading buddies through the next 4 weeks or so, as you and I have a little bit of a break. And he joins us now. G'day, mate.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Ash.
Hey, Lloyd. How are you doing, buddy?
Getting very worried now.
What are you getting worried about?
Extremely worried.
What about?
Yeah, the hosting. I mean, you and Jeff have many things to talk about, but for me, I think my hosting will be quite dry. Let me ask you a question. What if after a month you come back and you find that there's no participants or attendees? Will anything happen to me?
It's okay. We'll make you watch it for the next year, so we always have at least one.
Why wouldn't, and as I keep saying, why wouldn't people want to listen to what you've got to say, buddy? You are the hardest working trader I know, and you can teach people so many things about diligence and getting into the work ethic that can't even begin to imagine how I would do that. So you won't have any problems. And
Well,
look, this is a fantastic group of people that come into this room as well.
I was going to say, mate, we're all
They'll keep you
trading
on your
buddies.
toes.
We're all trading buddies. The buddies will be here for you, Lloyd. Don't you worry about that.
There's a potential chance that I might just scare them all away. Or
No, man.
bore the hell out of them.
No, do you know what? I mean, this is the thing. It's all about which angle you come from, and the angle you come from. It's about the really deep diving into technical analysis, and Jeff covers most of that sort of for our show, but you've got a completely different view on it. Look at Paul P. Don't worry about it, Lloyd. He's a fan. He's in. Paul P is in. In fact, let's get a little thing in the room. I'm going to post and say who's a fan of Lloyd. I'm a fan.
We love Lloyd. Lloyd forever. Lloyd for PM. Yep.
Right, you'll be all good, mate. You'll be all good. And John will be here on Thursdays to do the quiz with you. I'm presuming you'll still be around, John. You've got Shukri on Tuesdays. You've got Ainsley on Wednesdays. I'll pop in when I get the odd 5 minutes to come and see you as well. Yeah, you're going to be grand, mate. You're going to be grand. It's going to be brilliant.
And I'll be on YouTube throwing you bricks.
Sorry, who's on Thursday?
John.
It's quiz day today.
It's quiz day.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
don't sound so enthusiastic. Look, come on.
Well, this is the thing, Lloyd. And now John's about to do the quiz, and you've got to do your scores. You've got to type your answers in, and we'll see we'll see if we all qualify. Now you have to do worse than Jeff and I, which is
absolutely that's compulsory.
Which is hard. Yep. It's hard. So, but yeah, you got quiz on Thursday.
What's the price?
The prize.
We thought you might come up with one.
Yeah, well, it's the pride for the week. If you come up with a prize, then you are welcome to share it too. But it's the pride for the week. You're the king of the week if you win John's quiz. It's very very coveted, mate. It's very, very, very coveted.
I'll be looking forward to that next week.
Well, let's bring him in.
Wow. I'm just looking at the charts. Sell the dollar. Get on.
Yeah, totally, mate. Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is what I was saying yesterday. It's just and the breakout. We have these breakouts that go on. We've seen a break to the upside with Bitcoin, which is just on fluff, in my opinion. We see a break to the downside with the dollar, and it's on something. This actually has some fundamental weight behind it. Because Jerome Powell basically said inflation. There's loads of inflation. There's inflation around. There's a bit of inflation. Tell you what, prices are going up a little bit. And then in the next breath, he's saying, but we're not ready to do anything. We're going to wait. We're going to wait a bit longer. And really, what he's having to say is the labour market is still in a really poor place. It's just in the dust at the minute. So the prices are going up. He can't. Well, of course, he can do he can do something, but he's not comfortable. And we know how cautious Jerome Powell is. It was a shocker to hear him a few months ago come out and say anything about tapering. But we know how cautious he is, and he's sticking with that stance. So I can't see us really starting to shift on the dollar until the next potential press conference. So I think selling the dollar right now for a little while looks pretty good. And as I say, gold looks great, silver looks great. The Aussie looks early, but it could be pretty good. The euro is probably the only one I'd probably avoid.
Well, let's hope so. Euro Aussie would be good if that's the case.
Yeah.
Righto. Should we quiz it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's bring it in. Bring it in.
Quizmaster, good evening. I mean, good afternoon for you. Good morning for you.
We're just in a continual lockdown here.
Oh, you're still in lockdown, John.
Yeah, check out BBC News. We're top of the charts.
And I think that's the thing with the Aussie at the moment too, Ash. And sorry, John, to give you a false start, but with the Aussie, we've got 172 cases, I think, new cases in Sydney overnight, and they're hundreds every day. I think 4 people have died in the last week, of COVID, which is, you know, incredible numbers for Australia, because we haven't seen those.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen them at all, and that's the worrying part.
Yeah.
But you know, if you compare that to worldwide, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, I hesitate to say that word, but it's not good by any stretch. But
yeah,
comparatively, it's not that dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, we're in between 25 and 30,000 people cases a day. It's a completely different picture over here, and they're celebrating that. You know, they drop down a little bit, and they're celebrating some of those. Anything that drops down, if it drops down 10% from 30,000, down to 27,000, then they're celebrating it. Even though it's, you know, really, if you just to say like it's 27,000 people a day, that sounds a lot worse than we're dropping by 10% a day. You know, it really does depend on which way you look at it and which angle you're taking it from. So I agree, but I suppose when we're thinking about whether we buy the Aussie dollar, it's got to open up the economy for us to kind of get kind of back on the saddle with that. So the numbers are important, but it's the reaction to the numbers that are the key aspect with all this, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not a clear thing, that's for sure. But I'm just trying to find some perspective for my own edification, if you like.
Sure. Yeah.
To give me some sort of buoyancy with the Aussie, and it's not an easy thing. That's true. But I think, look, and I said on Sunday that I think 70 cents is still in play.
Yeah.
And I think it's a buy at 70 cents, most definitely.
Yeah.
But it's kind of in that weird zone at the moment.
Yeah, with you on it.
Anyway, sorry, John, interrupted you. And Lloyd,
cool,
sorry again, John. I've got to apologise to you, Lloyd. I didn't actually get to say ciao to you yesterday or goodbye for the day. So don't POQ without saying goodbye today. All right. And you've got to be in the quiz. Okay. This is your trial run for the quiz. Sorry, John.
I know, it's all good.
You're waiting for me to go one more thing, aren't you? No, I'm not.
Just one more thing.
Okay, this is just an idea for the music for the quiz, but it's okay. We're not going to get done for copyright because I wrote this morning.
Oh, intro? Is this the intro?
Yeah, if it works.
Or is that the buzzer? Oh, here we go.
Very nice, John. Is that the tune you've written for it?
Yeah, I did it this morning.
I love it, mate. Can I make one suggestion?
You can make as many suggestions as you want.
Could you have a timpani roll into the one?
Yeah, I was going to. What's the one?
Sorry, the one beat.
It's a James Brown thing. Everything goes back to one. It's bang on the beat. It's like your left foot here.
Yeah, right, I mean, I don't mean necessarily on the from bar one, but maybe from the 8th bar or something to have a little timpani roll just so we get a little bit of tension. That would be kind of cool.
Get some tension. I thought anyway. There's an idea. Oh, Gary said that we're guessing the song. No, you can't guess that one unless you buy my keyboard this morning.
I thought it had a bit. I thought it had a bit of Enya in it.
Yeah, it's got that sort of thing, and like a repeating drip of the water hitting your head as you place the wrong trade.
We try not to do that, of course.
No, that's just me being my, I don't know. That's cynical. Anyway, what's the new?
I was actually thinking a little bit of maybe a fanfare for the common man at the front.
I could do
lead
that,
into that.
But I feel like it's soon. Question one. This is question one, Gary.
Right, here we go.
What is the Fed new rate? And it doesn't mean how quickly that they're going through the gear of printing. Yeah, it's quite yeah, same old. It's a nice relaxed one to go into August.
Yeah.
What a bit of maybe-ish news sent the crypto market up.
Hang on, whoa. We've got a few answers in here.
Oh yes, sorry. No change. Yep. 0.5 is 0.525, 25, 1. I believe it's 0.25. Look.
They actually describe it as a range, but 0.25 is right.
Yes. So in question 2.
Yep. Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
I can't type that fast. I was still on the last one.
But interestingly, the keeper of the keys and the brains trust of my family, my wife, did say, she said, just because it might not be happening doesn't mean that they've not got somebody in a cupboard somewhere thinking about it, which I thought was.
They're definitely. They've probably been thinking about it for the last 3 years, but it's. I think that it's just an interesting thing because you see the reaction. People are just salivating over anything that they can get their hands on right now with cryptos because they're, the crypto bulls can't wait for this thing to explode. But the story itself, I think, just shows us that we just need to be a bit more patient. We're very early in adoption with this stuff.
I'm going with what Jeff said a couple of was it last week before? Never bet with worried money.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right.
My dear old dad told me that. Yep.
Yeah. Good advice.
He was right because you don't sleep very well.
Yeah.
There is a shortage of something that sounds like you can eat it.
That is a great question, mate. I like the way that's phrased.
Yes.
Because it's my favourite food.
It is of mine, but it's got to be good, and the fish has got to be nice. It's got to have a good bite. You can, yeah.
I didn't know the answer to that one.
But he does now. Yeah.
I do. So how is that the case? You've run out of potatoes in England or something?
No, chips is in microchips.
Yeah.
I thought now there's a boy. I'll buy Australian potatoes.
Start growing potatoes next to bamboo.
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I'll be here for hours if I ask that question.
You're in the zone. Yeah, I can feel you're in the zone. You're seeing it as big as a barn door. Which country has won their second only ever gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics? Both medals are in the same event. And actually, for this country to win it is really good. Because if they actually, as a country, kept all of their own players and were well funded, I think they might be a little bit better than they are.
I don't know the answer to this question, but
no, I don't know either.
No, you've got to be a geek, and on this particular sport, I'm a geek.
Oh right.
I have been stupid enough to play it in my time being a musician as well. It's not an ideal thing.
Rugby, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, F1J1, right? Okay. Yeah, look, in sevens they're hard to beat. They're tough.
Yeah, in sevens, I've watched them play a couple of times.
Man, have you ever been in Fiji when there's a game on?
No, I'd love to go.
The whole town empties out. You can steal anything from the shops.
I'll call everybody out with this one. Yeah, we had a Fijian in my last school in the centres. It was great. Which you said, folks.
I've got a great mate who's a Fijian. He's Is he a good guard person? I called him a guard dog. He used to live next to me in the resort.
This one always does me in, and now I just ignore it when everybody says it. But still, if you're trading fusion markets with an ATW account, I could be right, I could be wrong, but which of the following pairs is not available to you to trade with? Yes, Sweet. Yes, Paul. Correct.
Oh, Angel's getting all my answers. I haven't.
Yeah.
They're all right, Angel, aren't they?
Yeah. You can corroborate. FTSE's looking. Sorry, guy. I'm a bit distracted because the FTSE's coming down. We might well get our trade. I'll call it if I enter.
Tasvax. I'll get my second jab tomorrow.
August is a bit special this year. Why? Obviously, you're getting a big holiday, but it's a bit special. This should.
The answer is obvious because Jen and Ash is not going to be hosting the show.
That's got to be the answer, right? That's got to be the
answer. This month, birthday. 5 Fridays, 5 Saturdays, 5 Sundays.
Oh wow!
It's the money bags month. If you're into spending, well, I can't even say it, so I don't want to get told off by the people who live in Singapore. If you're organising your furniture in a certain way, yeah.
How many times does that happen?
Apparently, every 823 years, but I don't think that's right. Looking around, but it doesn't happen that often.
Wow, that means 15 days off.
It's me. Supposedly good luck. There's no days off in this house.
Why did I choose to have this off? I could have had 15 days anyway.
This is fresh off the press, so you'd have to be on it to get this on maybe. Which company might have trouble hailing a cab home this week?
Oh.
The answer sort of is in the question. They have been bashed around quite a bit. They did get bashed around in this part of the world and got. In the end, they did a deal and cleared out.
Oh, I'll have to go there then.
Paul, he's right. Jeff is right. London cab. Well, I'd never get London cab anyway. I'd rather walk.
Why so?
Too expensive.
Ah, okay.
When I was working in London in the 80s, yes, but not now. And I don't know London from roads. I know it from the underground. So if
that makes sense.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue of the road system above.
Musicians, late night underground. Yeah, makes sense.
Uber, and it's not Uber itself. It's a bank, SoftBank. Apparently, are rumored to be selling 45 million shares. Wiped a couple of billion off their shares.
Wow!
But that's only just come out. So
good story.
What a story. I would have sold Uber a long time ago if I owned it. Man, how much money would they have made? Gee whiz.
What's that, Uber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a bit of software. Don't own a thing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Same as
making a bit of cash. What is the best-selling album of all time? This might be a little bit contentious, but it's the best-selling album.
I always thought it was that.
Yeah. Abbey Road.
I'll stick to my age group.
Strangely enough, I have recorded there. I did record it there.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I recorded for a country and western singer called Roger Whittaker.
Yes, I know Roger Whittaker.
Yeah, we got us in, got the orchestra, got all the bells and whistles. We got paid good money. He never released it on the album. Didn't like it.
I'm trying to think of one of his songs. Roger Whittaker.
Hard Day's Night.
What
is the key?
Thriller's the one, eh?
Thriller is, yeah.
What a talent, eh?
The contentious one is the Eagles because it's compilation. It's not one.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing in the middle. Yeah. So
Tell you what, that top 5 surprises me. So you got Michael Jackson, AC/DC surprised me. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, I get that. Meatloaf, I mean, I'm surprised he's up there as well.
Yeah, I am as well.
Fleetwood Mac, I get that.
This one surprised me, the bottom one. Sean Twain. I got the album, but I didn't realise it was one of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me the Bee Gees are in there, but the fact that it's the disco shit does surprise me. I mean, disco stuff.
Yeah.
And that is the quiz this week.
Oh, I enjoyed that one. Got a bit distracted with the foot.
And no Abbey Road at all. Well, there you go.
Appendages to the theme.
How many did you get, Lloyd?
He's gone. No, it's not.
He's fallen over in shock.
I'm pretty sure I fare worse than Jeff.
Sorry, mate.
I'm sure I fare worse than you. I think I only got 2 correct.
There you go. That's an improvement on some of us.
Yeah, that qualifies.
Is there a new low?
Oh, shit, no. I'm an SH12 now.
No. There's been a few zeros in there from me, Lloyd. I was okay this week, actually. It was the questions were favourable.
Hey, Lloyd, what have we got to do with the rest of the week from a Lloyd point of view, trading wise?
What thing? Sorry, yeah.
We're going to take if we're in your trades, or if they're in your pound Aussie, you've closed, yeah. How about Aussie Swissy?
Yeah, I can share something. Let me just grab the screen.
And have you got any more
this week
for
was
us? Yeah.
favorable. This week was favorable to me, surprisingly.
Why surprising?
I've closed Aussie Swiss already. Still got my 3:1 bank it. Then I think pound Aussie shot up, so I also bank it already. Yesterday I was talking about pound dollar, so I also entered that. We'll keep my fingers crossed and see what's gonna happen. Yesterday also did talk about dollar Swiss. I mean, it was really between pound dollar and dollar Swiss. Yeah, so I actually entered both 0.5% each because you were saying that there's some dollar news. Yeah, so just 0.5% each and see what's gonna happen. And then, so the next one that I'm going to share is a bit. Just now, what's the word that someone said? Contentious. Yeah. So what happened was that I actually ranked Aussie pretty low this week. Yeah. So then, if you look at the daily time frame for Aussie Swiss, it seems to be retesting the previous high. Yeah. So we might have an opportunity for trades if price is getting bullish and prepared to shot back up to $76. So that's the Aussie index is a bit hard to trade at the moment, in my humble opinion. But the easy one to trade is actually CXY. Yeah. So what happens with CXY is that I think it's going back up to $80, and I do anticipate price to get rejected from here. Yeah. So if anybody who's a risk taker, what we can consider is this: waiting for price to go up or price to break down. Yeah. So it is really a if-then situation. Yeah, so this to me is a opportunity to make use of. Yeah, so in the event that actually price do shot up, then we can actually aim up to here. Yeah, so this will be a huge risk to reward trades. Yeah, but at the same time, this will be a high risk to get it. Now, for a lower risk setup, we can actually consider a pound caps. Yeah, I still think that pound is going to be strong.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Weak. We can just go have long for pound cap.
It's got a lot of still got a lot of fairly good news coming out from the UK. So I'm with you with that. Pound being strong.
Why CAD weak, guys?
Yeah. Sorry?
Why CAD weak?
Simply it's just I'm anticipating it for the CXY. Okay, how do I get
Because you're
it?
at resistance, right? Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, CXY. So you see that overall from the daily chart that CXY is just on a downtrend, retracement, healthy retracement back to $80. So I'm anticipating that price will get rejected over here. So just waiting for CXY to weaken further since there's a retracement over here, and then we can get into pound cap long. Yeah. So that's that will be the trick for today that I'll be waiting to set up for.
Cool. I struggle with a weak Canadian dollar for some reason from I don't know. I hate to use the word fundamental point of view.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, mate. It's very difficult, isn't it? Because obviously, if oil starts to pump again, then you're starting to struggle, sort of figuring out what's going to drive it down. One interesting story that I found was to do with canola seeds from Canada, where China are not buying the quota that they agreed to because they're getting some sort of diseases going on, but. I think it's worth about 3 billion of the UK.
Just in Canada.
Yeah. So they've got a trade dispute going on just on these canola seeds. But when I looked further into it, it makes up it's 3 and a bit billion of their GDP. And when you think that they're like 15 trillion GDP, it's a blip. Because I was looking for reasons that maybe the CAD would be a sell, but WTI would be difficult. That what's going on with oil would be a difficult reason right now, and certainly canola is not a big enough industry. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on it. It's a difficult one to make a case for the bearish side, I think, right now.
Doesn't mean it won't happen, of course, but yeah.
No, because we might be in, if you pick it against the right currency, it might be that there's no news kind of leaves it flat, and that if another currency has got good news which strengthens it, then by default, then the CAD will sell off. So it certainly could happen. And the pound I like, currently, I think it's a fairly decent currency right now as things open.
Okay, I think we're all agreeing the pound is probably the one. What's the weakest, guys?
I'm euro. I think the yen could suffer as well as we kind of go into a slightly new phase. Definitely the dollar right now, just because of the rhetoric from Jerome Powell. So probably one of those three.
Lloyd, weakest?
Weakest or going to be weakening?
Either or. Yeah. What would you put? What would you not put your money on? Oh, this is a better question.
If it's weakest, I think Kiwi to me right now is the weakest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not
Kiwi
into the com dolls at all, are you? The commodity currencies you're giving a big thumbs down to. Aussie, CAD, Kiwi, all no good. Interesting.
Yeah. Fundamentally, I also have. Most of my trades are not affected by fundamentals, but I do read news. So fundamentally, it's at the back of my head that the commodity currency will weaken. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, look, who are we to have a crystal ball? We just don't have one. Simple as that. And I have very, very mixed emotions on Aussie CAD at the moment. I'm looking at the Aussie CAD chart, and I 100% agree with what you said. I've got a potential false break of support. And if it got above today's daily pivot and retested it, I think, like you, that we're off to the races, but it could just as easily keep going south. I really don't know. And I think we have to wait for those particular things to play out. Like you've got levels that need to be broken and retested before you get into the market. Ash has got exactly the same thing. And I think that's probably where we need to be sat at the moment. Wait for those levels to be tested or rebroken, or broken and retested the other way around, and go from there, because I really haven't got anything that's clearer than the trade that I'm in at the moment on Euro Aussie, and that's struggling. So everything else is cool, but that's struggling, that one. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that's about me really for the week.
Well, I was going to say, mate, should we call it a wrap? I know it's 5 minutes early, but I think I'm also waiting on prices to come back. I think there might have just been a little opportunity on the FTSE, but wasn't quite attractive enough. It's about 5 pips away from where I'd like. So I've now just put an order in on the FTSE instead to sit at those levels we discussed earlier on, and hopefully I get triggered in with profit around about 20 pips up. So we'll see what gives with that. Thank you so much, Lloyd, for doing next month for Jeff and I. As I say, I will pop in intermittently when I have a chance. Thanks to John as well for the quiz, as always, and to the trading buddies. I'm sure you're going to look after Lloyd and bring people in, Lloyd. That's the other thing. If there's anybody in the room, then if anybody's willing to come and speak with you, then bring them on mic. But you should have some pretty good support throughout the week. But thank you so much, mate, for helping us out with this, because Jeff and I probably need a bit of a break anyway. And thank you to Angel, as always, for looking after us. And I'm sure you're in good hands with Angel too, mate. So, Jeff, enjoy your month off, mate. And I'll see you back in September. If I don't see you before, I'll probably see you on a few Sunday sessions, and we'll have a chat in between times as well.
I'm sure you will. I'm doing the Sunday sessions while PB has his break. And,
yeah, of course.
And I'll definitely run into you there. And yes, Lloyd, you know where we are. We're always available anyway. So if you've got an issue, just let us know. But you've got fantastic traders in the room already, and they'll have ideas and they'll run them off you, and I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. So, yep, let's do it. Let's get out of here and have our break. Thank you to all our trading buddies. We really appreciate your input into the show and the fact that you actually turn up every day and listen to our BS sometimes that we give you, but hopefully you get something out of it, including a little bit of pocket money every now and then. Thanks, Lloyd. Catch up with you soon. Angel, thank you. I'll be talking to you during the break as well. And Ash, have a good break, buddy. And all our trading buddies, see you later. Have a wonderful weekend.